India's foreign policy has always been ambitious, aiming to carve out a significant space on the global stage through robust leadership and strategic alliances. But recent events suggest it's time for an honest review and reset. Let's start with the Neighborhood First policy. This doctrine, intended to foster regional harmony, is showing serious cracks. Take Bangladesh, for instance. Despite historical ties, India's overt support for Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina amid accusations of authoritarianism hasn't gone down well. The result? Growing anti-India sentiment. Then there's Pakistan. Post the abrogation of Article 370 in Kashmir, diplomatic ties are frozen. India's rigid stance has allowed China to deepen its influence through the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. In the Maldives, the India Out campaign reflects growing resentment towards India's military presence. In Sri Lanka, although India provided vital aid during the economic crisis, China continues to outpace India in gaining strategic assets. Nepal's trust has dwindled since the 2015 blockade, and Bhutan is subtly opening up to China. Moving on, India's moral authority is under scrutiny. Once hailed as the world's largest democracy, reports from global bodies like Freedom House highlight democratic backsliding, communal polarization, and suppression of dissent. This damages India's soft power, particularly among liberal democracies in the West. Now, let's talk about India's stance during the Gaza crisis. India's unequivocal support for Israel alienated many nations in the global South. Silence on civilian casualties in Gaza was seen as a betrayal by countries that once viewed India as a moral leader. Relations with the West have also soured. The diplomatic fallout with Canada over the alleged extrajudicial killing of a Sikh separatist raised alarms globally. Even the US and UK expressed concerns about India's surveillance and diplomatic conduct. India's performance in multilateral forums leaves much to be desired. Despite vocal campaigns, permanent membership in the UN Security Council remains elusive. The G20 presidency offered symbolic success, but concrete gains were marginal. India's global diaspora, once a significant asset, now faces backlash due to political polarization. Hyper-nationalist rhetoric and communal aggression have led to a reassessment of these diaspora groups, impacting their role as bridges between India and the world. So what's the way forward? First, India must recalibrate its neighborhood diplomacy with humility and mutual respect. It should avoid overt interference in neighboring countries' internal matters. Restoring India's democratic image is crucial. Strengthening civil liberties and democratic institutions will help regain global moral standing. Balancing strategic interests with moral clarity is essential. India mustn't compromise its stance on humanitarian values. Reinvesting in multilateralism is vital. India should move beyond symbolic campaigns and contribute substantively to global governance reforms. Finally, foreign policy must be institutionalized. Shifting from leader-centric outreach to a professional diplomatic apparatus will ensure stability. India's diplomatic journey is at a crossroads. Rising aspirations of becoming a global leader must be matched by maturity, credibility, and consistency. It's time for introspection and resetting the diplomatic compass before more damage is done to its global standing. Thanks for watching. If you found this analysis insightful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into global politics. Until next time.